What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today, right before I'm gonna head to the McCormick Center, is that what it's called, for Star Wars Celebration, we got to talk about Star Wars, because of course we do. Mark Hamill in a recent interview talked about, being that there might be some Star Wars fatigue out there, and Star Wars fatigue is something that Bob Iger mentioned a few months ago when he was basically taking all of the blame for Kathleen Kennedy's terrible decisions. And so, he fixed the focus here on my camera. And so I completely, 100% disagreed with Bob Iger on that at the time, and it feels like Mark is kind of in the middle of all of this, and sometimes he says something in one direction, other times he says something in another direction, and I totally get it. But there's no such thing as Star Wars fatigue. There's just not. There's a such thing as bad movie fatigue, and that's exactly what's going on. So when Bob Iger says that there is a Star Wars fatigue, basically what he's trying to say is that we've effed up, and I'm going to make excuses because we can't actually say Kathleen Kennedy has done a terrible job at leading Lucasfilm, and we also can't get rid of her. And so the nonsense coming from this whole Star Wars fatigue thing, anybody with any common sense whatsoever understands that there's no such thing as Star Wars fatigue. Star Wars, I'm going to Star Wars Celebration in a few hours. There's going to be thousands and thousands of people from all over the world coming to celebrate their love for Star Wars. Now, a lot of it's going to be probably divisive because there's a lot of different opinions out there about what's going on with Star Wars, but the point is it doesn't matter what people are saying. The fact is people love Star Wars for different reasons, different eras of Star Wars, different interpretations. There's so much passion out there for Star Wars. So to make the stupid claim that there's any type of fatigue is baseless on every single front. There is no such thing as Star Wars fatigue. There is a such thing as bad movie fatigue, and we have seen that with The Last Jedi. Now, people can argue about The Force Awakens. I've come out and said basically that I just can't watch The Force Awakens anymore. I just can't. I have no desire to watch it anymore because of The Last Jedi. That means that the Force Awakens doesn't really hold up on its own. That's a sign that there was a lot of flaws in that movie that I didn't see. But regardless, The Force Awakens re-energized Star Wars fans everywhere. Not that there was a lack of energy per se, but there was a lack of content. So when that new content came out and that new sequel trilogy was announced, it re-energized that hungry fan base, because there's no such thing as a fatigue with Star Wars. Star Wars is bigger than anything in the entertainment industry. There's always going to be a huge amount of passion and energy for Star Wars in some capacity, in some shape. Right now, the fact that we've only gotten 2 video games since Disney bought Lucasfilm is absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous on every single level. And now we're going to get Jedi Fallen Order, which I'm pretty excited to hear more about that game. But the point is we should have gotten at least 5 or 6 really good games, at least 1 or 2 story-driven narratives since Disney purchased Lucasfilm. Why? Because the hunger is out there. Star Wars fans want video games. Star Wars fans want content. Star Wars fans want movies. But we want the movies and the content that's going to honor the thing that we've loved for all of our lives. Most of us have been watching this for the heavy majority of our lives, and we want the content that's going to honor that. So when you don't give us content that is honoring that, then of course we're going to get frustrated, and we're going to lose interest from the perspective of what you're trying to push into Star Wars. But that doesn't mean that there is a Star Wars fatigue. Star Wars will never, ever die. Like, you can never take away the original trilogy. You can never take away the Clone Wars. You can never take away the prequels. You can never take away Knights of the Old Republic. You can never take away all of these amazing video games and all of these novels and all of these stories. That passion will always be there for the people that grew up with this and loved this. Star Wars is beyond anything in entertainment, and it will always matter. So when I hear people say that there is a fatigue for Star Wars, now again, I don't hold Mark Hamill personally accountable for him saying that, because Mark is in a very difficult position, and we all kind of know where Mark stands with where everything's at. But he still has to say certain things. Mark Hamill's not Harrison Ford. He's not a mega A-list movie star. Mark Hamill's an A-list geek movie star. And that's why we love him, and that's why we appreciate him. But he's not Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is a legitimate megastar, and he can do and say anything he wants, and he's always going to get work because he's Harrison Ford. But I do hold someone like Bob Iger accountable for saying that, because Bob Iger clearly understands that there is no Star Wars fatigue. Look at the lines for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that they're anticipating. 6 hours. They're going to give away tickets for bathroom breaks for people that are standing in line. Does that sound like something that has fatigue? Are you kidding me right now? There's no such thing as Star Wars fatigue. There is a such thing as bad movie fatigue. And you have made bad movies. You've made bad decisions. Kathleen Kennedy's lack of leadership is being exposed every single day. So what do you need to do about this? Make stories, make movies, make video games that Star Wars fans appreciate and love, and they feel that it's connected to the world that we grew up loving. That's it. Anyway, Star Wars Celebration, just a few hours away. I can't wait to see what's going on, meet a lot of people, have a lot of good conversations because of the Star Wars passion that is out there, because it will never die out. And you know, we'll see what happens as far as live streaming. I don't know if I'm going to be able to live stream because I don't know if my footage is going to, or I don't know if my signal is going to hold up. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Check out geeksandgamers.com, geeksandgamers.com/store. Get you some merch. And then as we sell through that merch, we're going to run through more and order more and represent Geeks and Gamers, guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.